Every notch. Tick tock.
When you hear Dick Tracy, you probably picture bright colors, grotesque villains, and a world that looks like it was ripped straight out of a comic strip. Behind the bold visuals of this 1990 cult classic is a production that is so unusual, it bordered on obsession. Actors disappeared under layers of prosthetics for hours at a time. Entire scenes were designed around a color system so strict, it changed how sets, costumes, and lighting were built. And some creative choices were so extreme, filmmakers still talk about them today. It may look playful on the surface, but behind the paint, shadows, and exaggerated faces is one of the most visually controlled movies that Hollywood ever made. These 12 weird facts reveal the hidden rules, risks, and behind-the-scenes secrets that turned Dick Tracy into a movie like nothing before or after. Number 12. Almost every shot uses only 7 colors. When you watch Dick Tracy, you may feel as though you've stepped straight into a comic strip, and that's not an accident. Director Warren Beatty and his team decided to stick to just 7 colors: red, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, and white. And you know what? It was quite strict. Every single scene follows the palette without exception. The cinematographer and production designer played key roles in bringing the look to life, working hard to ensure that everything in the movie stuck to those exact colors. They didn't even use atmospheric smoke, which is often added in movies to make scenes look softer.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
Which one?
Where's Tess? Out of town.
Because it would ruin the bright and clear colors. The idea was to make it all look like it came straight out of Chester Gould's original Dick Tracy comic. Number 11. Actors wore prosthetics for hours daily. Many of the film's most unforgettable villains came alive thanks to hours of work in the makeup chair. Special makeup artists John Caglione Jr. and Doug Drexler crafted complex prosthetics to give the characters like Pruneface, played by R.G. Armstrong, and Flat Top, portrayed by William Forsythe, their exaggerated comic-style appearances. The level of detail was astonishing. Each prosthetic was designed to perfectly match the caricature-like features from the comics. Imagine Al Pacino as Big Boy Caprice.
You.
Me?
How do you want it?
Want it?
Around me. If a woman don't wear mink.
Spending nearly 3.5 hours every day being transformed with larger-than-life chin, an oversized nose, and completely altered facial proportions. Forsythe as Flat Top took even longer, upwards of 4 hours just to get into the character. And it didn't stop there. After a full day on set, removing it all became its own time-consuming ritual. To protect the delicate prosthetics, the crew had makeup police on set, ensuring that the actors didn't damage their looks by eating the wrong food or even touching their faces. Number 10. Madonna released a companion album. This may be one of the boldest moves in music and film history. Pop icon Madonna made the entire album linked to the film, but only 3 songs actually appear in the movie. Written by the legendary Stephen Sondheim. And the rest?
Sooner is better than later, but lover.
They were like a musical time machine inspired by Madonna's character, Breathless Mahoney, and the film's 1930s vibe. The album, I'm Breathless, had its own life, blending in jazz and swing and pop, and brought the era's energy to life while still being modern. Then there was Vogue. The chart-topping hit was added to the album, even though it wasn't in the film. Released in 1990, the album skyrocketed in the charts, going multi-platinum while proving that this creative crossover was absolute gold. Number 9. Warren Beatty controlled casting, editing, and tone. It's weird to think of one person holding the reins of almost every creative and critical decision, but Warren Beatty was so obsessed with bringing Chester Gould's comic strip to life on the screen, he handpicked his team to shape his own dreams. Every scene, costume, and shadow on the wall would be crafted to match his vision, and when it came to casting, Beatty wasn't afraid to make risky calls.
I ain't wearing no suit.
Kid, your clothes don't smell very good, okay? Now, if you don't want to wear a suit, just go back in there and say you don't want to wear a suit.
He chose Madonna to play the seductive Breathless Mahoney, bypassing big names like Kathleen Turner, because Madonna's charm and ability to draw audiences was irresistible, and she embraced the character in ways that no one else could. But the drama didn't end with casting. Sean Young, originally cast in a key role, would be replaced when Beatty decided he didn't fit the tone of the carefully curated world. This was his project, and nothing was left to chance. Even in the editing room, Beatty was in charge of it all. He made decisions about how fast the story moved, how the scenes looked, and how the movie felt almost like a play. Number 8. Al Pacino's performance was intentionally cartoonish. In a film full of bold choices, Al Pacino's portrayal of the crime boss Big Boy Caprice stands out as one of the most unforgettable. From the moment he appears on the screen, it becomes clear he's no ordinary villain.
Law without order is as great a danger to the people as order without law. Jefferson.
Pacino had brought Big Boy to life with an outrageous style that mirrored the colorful, exaggerated world of a comic strip. With booming shouts, wild gestures, and a powerful stage-like presence, he fully embraced the character's theatrical nature. What made it even better was how this performance fit perfectly with Warren Beatty's idea for the movie. Beatty wanted the characters to feel as though they jumped right out of a comic book, and Pacino really leaned into it with amazing energy. Big Boy's look, exaggerated features, and dramatic action stood out, and Pacino helped to shape how the character came across, and the result was a wild and energetic villain. Number 7. Studios feared kids would be scared. It's weird when a film gets a PG rating but still has people worried about it as though it might frighten children. That's exactly what happened with Dick Tracy. Even though the violence in the movie was kept cartoonish and there wasn't any blood, villains, well, they were something else entirely. They had wild and exaggerated prosthetic makeups with warped faces and twisted features, and that made them look more like creepy caricatures than regular bad guys. While the movie's bright and comic book style design made it look fun on the surface, the grotesque villains caused some concern.
I remember all of you from when I was nothing. Pruneface, you tossed a firebomb in my car one night. Give me a lot of trouble, but I forgive you.
Reviewers and parents wondered if the odd and unsettling visuals might be a little too much for younger kids. The mix of colorful action and spooky character designs definitely made Dick Tracy feel different from other family-friendly movies of the time. Number 6. Beatty still owns the rights. Back in 1985, Warren Beatty secured the rights to bring the comic strip hero to life. Fast forward to 1990, and he was pouring his vision into a colorful movie adaptation. But then things get a little messy. A fierce legal dispute broke out when Tribune Media Services, the original owner of Dick Tracy, had argued that Beatty did not meet the terms of their agreement and wanted the rights back. The drama doesn't end there, though. For years, Beatty fought to defend his claim to the legendary detective, battling through legal challenges, and in 2011, a court would rule in his favor, citing his efforts to keep the character alive, including producing rare special projects like a unique TV piece where Beatty, dressed as Dick Tracy, sat down for an interview with Leonard Maltin. Such creative moves were strategic and also allowed him to keep his grip on the rights rock solid. Number 5. It was wildly expensive for its time. Surprisingly, what seemed like another big-budget movie turned into one of the most ambitious and costly productions of its time. The initial production budget hovered around $46 to $47 million, but the true cost of bringing the film to life skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $100 million.
You silly, stupid cop. You refuse me.
It all began with a massive marketing push. Disney had sunk an additional $48 million into advertising, determined to launch the film as a blockbuster to rival 1989's Batman. But that wasn't all. The lush and highly stylized look of the film, created to mimic the feel of a comic, came with a hefty price tag. Professionally built sets, amazing designs using only 7 distinct colors, and no on-location filming made it a costly visual spectacle. And then there were budget overruns. Though the studio initially approved a $25 million cost, Warren Beatty drove expenses far beyond that figure. Despite grossing $162 million worldwide and landing in the top 10 films of 1990, its massive expenses raised eyebrows, making its profitability a tough sell. Number 4. Nearly 600 licensed products were made for the movie. 600 licensed products. Do you know what that means? It means that Dick Tracy was an all-out merchandising explosion. And I'm not just talking posters and action figures, it went way beyond that. Lunchboxes? Check. Shower curtains? Check. Walkie-talkies? Of course. But here's where it gets even more wild. They had high-end wristwatches that cost thousands of dollars. Even lingerie somehow got the Dick Tracy treatment. Disney went all in on everything and opened entire stores at Disneyland and Walt Disney World just to sell the merch. Those classic yellow fedoras, a hat maker cranked out tens of thousands of them because they wanted the merchandise to be just as big as the movie. Inspired by the massive success of Batman in 1989, the studio had dreamed of turning Dick Tracy into the next summer frenzy. Number 3. There exists a longer version of the film that was cut down before release. What if I told you that Dick Tracy might have actually been an entirely different movie? According to Warren Beatty himself, there once existed a version of the film that ran about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's weird, but before it made it to theaters, it was cut down to just 1 hour and 45 minutes. This was reportedly because Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was chairman of Walt Disney Pictures at the time, insisted on the changes. So then, what got left out? Rumor has it that they cut scenes that featured deeper plot twists, richer character backstories, and a whole lot more drama. And get this, some of the deleted content was reworked into musical montages, giving the film its stylish flair. A full director's cut has never been released, but fans can only imagine what mysteries those scenes may have revealed. Number 2. Nothing else has looked like it since. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has captured the essence of a comic strip quite like Dick Tracy. From the moment it begins, you're pulled into a hyper-stylized world that feels as though it's lifted right out of the pages of a newspaper. Unlike what you would expect from modern comic adaptations, this film was something entirely different. The director Warren Beatty, alongside his production designer, crafted a film that boldly embraced the comic roots. Using flat colors and perfectly framed static shots, the movie creates an illusion of stepping into a two-dimensional comic panel. Every scene feels as though it was painted and not filmed, with a deliberately unreal style that leans on matte paintings, saturated colors, and artificial sets instead of digital tricks. Even today, decades later, no other film has quite managed to replicate the distinct beauty of Dick Tracy.
Why? You mean you thought we had gambling?
I wouldn't be caught dead in a place that permitted gambling.
I'll be back, big boy.
Number 1. Warren Beatty almost wore prosthetics too. It may be weird, but it is true. Warren Beatty almost underwent a drastic transformation himself. During early stages of production, he considered using prosthetics in order to alter his appearance. He wanted to look more like the square-jawed, exaggerated version of Dick Tracy from the comic strips. But here's the thing, the prosthetics, while expertly made, caused a big problem. The heavy makeup made it hard for Beatty to show emotion on camera, and that made it tough for the audience to connect with the character. He realized it all and chose to skip the prosthetics, and instead use them only for the villains, allowing his natural acting to take the spotlight. What's your favorite thing about the Dick Tracy movie? Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when we upload another great video like this one. If you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.